Hello everyone. Today I would like to introduce you to the topic video games lead to violent children. So in recent 20 years, we have seen the development of video games rise dramatically. So from a product of entertainment, now video games have become a multi-billion dollar industry with a series of large and small tournaments and souvenirs based on game character. They have become extremely popular, especially with the younger generation. So, while some games have educational content, many of the most popular games emphasize negative themes. They promote the killings in war like scenarios, sometimes criminal behavior, disrespect for the law and other authority figure, sexual exploitation, or violence toward women, racial, sexual, and gender stereotype. Some of them are Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So I will tell you a real example of how violent game will create violent children. So a 17 years old student, Warren LeBlanc, faced a life sentence for repeatedly battering his 14 years old friend Stephen Paki with a hammer and stabbing him to death at a local park in the Leicester in the English Midlands. According to the CNN webpage, this boy was upset with a game called Manhunt, in which the player score points per violent killing. Who is at whole in this story? The game maker, player, or parent? So a study has been made by Greg A. Anderson, PhD, and Karen E. Dew, PhD, among 210 college students play either a violent uh, Wolfenstein 3D or a non-violent video game Myst. So a brief time later, the student who played the violent video game punished an opponent, received a noise splat with varying intensity for a longer period of time than this student who had played the non-violent video games. So what is the cost here? So violent video game provide a forum for learning and practicing aggressive solution to complete situation. Said Dr. Anderson. So children or teenagers always tend to repeat common action to form habit. With the use of violent games for a long time, minors involuntarily immerse themselves in the games. Then in the real world, they will always believe that everything will be so just like the game with guns and violence. Curiosity or manipulation from friends is also a harmful part of exposing children to more depraved and violent um, products. Plus, just over half of children in the United States, 53%, now own a smartphone by the age of 11, and 84% of teenagers now have their own phones, immersing themselves in a rich and complex world of experience that adults sometimes need a lot of decoding to understand. So we need to come up with a solution. So parents should monitor not only how much time their children spend playing video game, but also the content. The government must assume the responsibility to regulate the detrimental content of video game. Many parents are not aware that a rating system exists for video game right 2004. Although this system has not been perfected, it provides some help for differentiating the content of video game while buying them. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommend that parents limit children playing time, keeping children room media free, and keeping violent video game out of the house, according Children and Video Game 2002. So, violent games will affect the cognitive development, personality, and thinking of young children. Before irreversible damage occur, parents should take precaution against the psychological, educational, social, and organic hazard of video games. Uh, Video games are created with the purpose of bringing joy and comfort to players after a stressful day of work and study. Of course, there are still people who create games that are violent, depraved, sexist, racist, and spread misinformation with moral standard. It is important that we know how to restrain ourselves. Need to carefully consider the game content first, so as not to affect our mental as well as physical health. Uh, so like in the end, we don't want some unfortunate case like the story mentioned above happen, because as it then it has been too late. Uh, thank you so much for listening.